Alright guys, find the points on the graph where y equals x squared plus 4x minus 5 intersects the x and the y axis, and then express it in the form of a perfect square with something added, and hence write down the coordinates of the turning point. Alright, no worries. When it hits the x-axis, what's guaranteed about the x-axis when you hit it? Y will always equal 0. So what you do straight out is you put y equals to 0, and you end up with y equals x squared, x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals to 0, because the y is 0. Factorize it, you get x plus 5, x minus 1 equals 0, and then you get whatever, x equals minus 5, and x equals 1. This means one point of interception is the point 1, 0. The other point of interception is probably all the way over here, and it's the point minus 5, 0. Is that okay? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to find where it hits the y-axis. Any ideas how to do that? X value equals 0. Right. So just replace x equals 0 into it, and what we're going to get is 0 plus 4 times 0, take away 5, and then our answer should be, anybody? 0 minus 5. Now 0 minus 5, I'm using the same scales as I did on the, if I use the same scales I used on the x-axis, it's going to be all the way down here. Is that alright with you guys? What shape is the function? U-shaped or N-shaped? U. Alright. Next thing we're going to do is complete the square. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can do it I want to do it two ways because I want to show you sort of a long way and a short way at the same time. Because the short way is easy, but one of them is longer and safer, and the other one is more mathsy and shorter. Okay, so I'll do the short way first. You have the x value to what? What you have it to? 2. You multiply it out, and what you get? Is that alright? How much are you short, or how much are you too large? Minus 9. And then y equals x plus 2 squared minus 9. Alright, next thing. What is the minimum value of this function? So this part here is always positive. Why is it always positive? It's a perfect square. So you need to turn it into 0 squared. And what happens when you turn it into 0 squared? What x value do you use? X equals negative 2. And when x equals negative 2, how much is y worth? 0 squared minus 9, which is? So this means the minimum point, jeez, this is killing me today, the minimum point's all the way down here, isn't it? 2 minus 9, and that would be your function. Now, if some of you don't like doing the, where you have the middle part, there is another way around it. Let's say you completely went blank on the day, alright? There's another way of doing this, and it's using identities. So all you do is this. See the yellow part? Everybody see the yellow part? I just square it out. Once I square it out, x plus a by plus b, multiply it out. And all you do is you pair it up. This is what's called algebra identities, okay? So you pair it up, and all you see is 2ax equals, so this means a equals, anybody? A equals 2. And then see the minus 5? That's the same as a squared plus b equals minus 5. And sub in a equals 2, and what you get? And then b equals, and we end up back where we started, don't we? We end up with x plus 2 squared take away 9. So there is a backup plan there if you happen to be stuck on the day. Is that alright? Grand. Right, that's question 5. Yeah.
How do you know it's minus 2 to the x? That doesn't.
Oh yeah. So what we had here was x plus 2 squared take away 9, and you're asking me how do I know it's a minimum value, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you pick any x value that's not minus 2, it will result in this being a positive number that gets added onto the minus 9 and hence drags it upwards. So the minimum value of a square is 0. So to turn this into a 0, I need to choose x equals minus 2. Because minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Is that right?
Yeah.
Alright, question 7. So that's 5. Shout out to Christian at home, by the way. Say hello to Christian, lads. Very unenthusiastic Christian. Now, the quadratic rule for a particular parabola is in this form here. The parabola passes through these 2 points. Find the value of a and c. Alright, you guys will eat this one up, to be honest. What's the only thing you have to do? Plug it in and get a simultaneous equation. So, y equals 4 when a equals minus 1. 4 equals a plus c. On the next one, y equals 8 when, what happens? X equals 0. What does that mean for the c value? C value is 8. And what does that mean for this then? A equals? Yeah. Handy, isn't it? Not too bad. Alrighty. Let's go for 9. Does anybody want 9? I'll tell you what. It's really quick. What shape would this function be if you multiply it out? It'd be x minus 4 by, and that will get me x squared minus 8x. There'll be a plus 16, but there's also a minus 3, which will get me U-shaped or N-shaped? Okay, gone and gone. What's its minimum value? When x equals 4. How do you know that? Yeah, you want to get that down to, so you're going to choose x equals 4. When you choose x equals 4, it turns this part into 0 squared. And it turns that part into 0 squared. What's the y value then? What's the y value? So it's the point 0 minus 3. So which one do you think it is then? B, and not that one there. Handy out, isn't it? Not too bad. So what's that? 5, 7, 9. Alright, this one. Alrighty. I'll do D. Alright. So very quickly, how do you factorize this? X squared minus 9, anybody? X plus 3 and x minus 3, okay? And all I have to do then is put it equal to 0 to find where it hits the x-axis. So what's your 3 answers? X equals 0, x equals, and x equals. And so it's 0, 0, minus 3, 0, and 3, 0. Is that alright? Will you guys, intersects the y-axis. To intersect the y-axis, what do I need to do? We'll put all x is equal to 0. And what happens then? 0, 0, and we already have our answer, don't we? Here it is. It was always going to be 0, 0, wasn't it? Because when you multiply anything by 0, it's going to be 0 times 3 minus 3, which is still 0. So across the y-axis, that's 0, 0. Is that right? So to do part 1, you find out the answer of y equals 0. To do part 2, you find out the answer of x equals 0. Alright, will you guys try part C on your own then? Ready? Alright. We're going to solve equal to 0 for where it touches the x-axis. So we're going to get y equals x minus 1, x plus 2, and x plus 2 all equal to 0. X equals 1 or x equals minus 2. What does that mean? At minus 2, 0, it touches the axis but doesn't go through it. Is that alright? Or it could be above it like that and touches it and goes back again, okay? It's a repeated route. So what's the answers? 1, 0 and minus 2, 0. Is that okay? What's the next thing we want? Intersects the y-axis, so what will happen there? All x's become zeros. So what's the answer then? Minus 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, which gets us an answer of minus 4, which is the point 0 minus 4. We all good? Alright. Now we're moving on to question 13. And I will very quickly do this one here for you, okay? So, draw a sketch of these functions. Alright? So, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to find out where it hits the x-axis. Where does it hit the x-axis? Oh, sorry, where does it hit the x-axis? Yeah. What's the value for y? So minus x minus 1, x plus 2, x minus 4 equals 0. You can multiply in the minus or just ignore it, whatever you want to do. I think it will mean x minus 1 equals 0, x equals 1, x plus 2 equals 0, x equals minus 2. And finally, what's the next part? X equals 4. Are you okay with that? Now currently I'm at a stage where if I was to draw this like so, okay, I have 1 zeros here, x equals minus 2 is there, and x equals 4 is here. That's the only 3 dots of information I have currently, isn't it? Now how do I get more information? What can I do now? Y equals, oh sorry, x equals 0, thank you. And what happens when x is equal to 0? Huh? No, x equals 0, yeah, so y equals minus times 0 minus 1 is? Huh? Minus 1 times 2 times, I count 3 minuses, which means the answer will be minus as well. So 0 minus 8, where's 0 minus 8 located? Anybody know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just actually beyond the reach of my line. Okay. Anybody know what shape the graph is now? What do you reckon? Then what? Then? Huh? Hard to know how high to go up, isn't it? What'd be a cheap way out of that? What's halfway between? You could just do a calculator job, couldn't you? Realistically, you just put it all in the calculator anyway. I was being honest. Yeah, so realistically, like when it asks you to draw a sketch, you're just going to lob it all into the calculator anyway, aren't you? So what's that? X minus 1. What else? X plus 2. And then the last one. Okay. And start at, I don't know, minus 5. And the 5 step of 1. So minus 2, 0. No bother. 0 minus 8. 1, 0. 2, 8, 3, 10. 2, 8, 3, 10. So 2, 8, 3, 10. And then it just goes flying back down again. Jeez, that's harsh. Ugh. Yeah, something like that. Now, why is it so narrow looking? Why is it so narrow looking? Each block is only worth 1. If I made 3 blocks worth 1, what would happen? It would smooth it. It would smooth it out a bit, wouldn't it? So when you're drawing these, you might want to make 3 blocks worth 1, and then it smooths out your drawing. Okay. So in class now, will you guys give parts 2 and 4 a go? And I will save this video now.
For those questions, do you have to do all the stuff
You could just sketch it, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could do
Yeah.
There's no need to do
Yeah. If your calculator does it for you, why not? Yeah. Just sketch the graphs, lads, using the calculator. It's no big deal.